afternoon.
Coach, we saw Luke Goedeke out there. What was he able to do, and sort of what is his progress?
He's limited. He's feeling a lot better. He did some individual stuff. He's got to do more as the week goes on for us to evaluate him.
So he's still in the protocol?
Yes.
Along the same lines, to see Vita out there, I know it's just a first step, but does that speak well for where things stand for him as potentially returning on Sunday?
He's trying to get back. You know, he's feeling a little better. We're going to see how much he can do.
What about Elijah?
He didn't practice today.
With he and Winfield just kind of working on the side with trainers right now, is it unlikely that they'd be back Sunday right now?
Not sure yet. I'll get a better grasp at the end of the week.
Kind of when you look at the second half, I think 6 of their 7 sacks came in the second half. It didn't seem to be necessarily any one person, any one thing. Is there a commonality to why they were getting to Mayfield as often as they were in the second half?
No, there wasn't a commonality. I mean, we got to get rid of the ball better, and we got to block it better. As a whole, offensively, as a team, we got to get better. We didn't play our best, and they played well.
Todd, you brought in another punter. What is your big issue with Jake right now? Is it his hang time, his distance? What is bothering you the most?
A little bit of both at times. You know, at times he can boom one, at times he's inconsistent. Got to be more consistent.
How do you think the players responded in practice today, kind of getting the bad taste out of their mouth from Sunday?
I was out on Monday. We had a good practice. I mean, we have a 24-hour rule. They came out, they flew around. We're trying to get the game plan down so we can be ready to play.
Saquon Barkley leads the NFL right now, rushing touchdowns, all that. How much has he improved this Philadelphia team and what they had?
I mean, they were already a good team before they got him. Once they got him, he's one of the top 2 or 3 running backs in the league right now. You put that behind one of the top 2 or 3 offensive lines, and you're going to have nothing but success. And then they got the receivers and tight end to match. So he's going to be a load to bring down. He's got quick feet. He's powerful. He's fast. He can catch. He can block. He can do it all.
How much this week, Todd, are you emphasizing swarming to the football on defense? And, you know, that 4th down run is a typical example. You know, when the guy caught when the guy caught the pitch, it looked like he was trapped, and he managed to get in there. So swarming to the ball that's part of the DNA.
I mean, we got to the ball. We had 2 guys on one. He made both of them miss. We got to tackle better. We're getting to the ball. We just got to tackle better, and we understand that as a defense, and that's one of the biggest areas we're looking for improvement in.
It seemed like the tackling against Detroit was very, very good. As a coach, I mean, you see your team sometimes. You have good days, you have bad days, but I mean, any reason specifically as to why maybe physically they weren't kind of able to kind of make some of those tackles the way they were the week prior?
Well, we missed some against Detroit as well. We just made more than we missed, and we didn't miss as many this past game, but we missed some key ones, that one being the 4th down one. The guy's a heck of a back. He got Nelly in space. He made a heck of a move, and, you know, KJ tried to reach out and get him, and he couldn't get him either. So sometimes the other guy's just better. Other times we got to swarm to the ball as far as who's inside and who's outside and understand where our help is.
Todd, they obviously have, you know, several different weapons on the Eagles offense, and A.J. Brown's status is unknown, but can you just talk about the difference that it makes for that team and that offense having him on the field as opposed to potentially not having him on the field?
I mean, they got a lot of talent. Anytime you have a Pro Bowler that's not playing, you're going to miss something in them. But they got enough talent with Smith and Goddard and the rest of those guys that they can make plays, and they've been making plays. You know, they won a tough game down in New Orleans. They're a tough team, and like everybody this year dealing with injuries, they're going to do without until they get them back.
I heard a lot on Sunday from the players that Denver just out physical them. Is that more of a mental state kind of as the game goes on, and how do you fix or adjust that headed into a new week?
It wasn't a mental thing. It's more about making mistakes and not being where we want to and playing as fast as we need to play.
I'm sure you guys are keeping your eye on the storm. As that moves through, tomorrow's probably a day with a lot of wind and rain. Do you know how that will change your practice schedule for tomorrow?
Well, it definitely puts us inside. Right now the schedule is the same. It may change the meetings in the afternoon as far as making it up on Friday with an extra hour or so, but we'll definitely be inside if the weather just changes, and we'll see how bad it gets.
I talked to Zen on the call about that opening drive. That was less than ideal for both him and Janelle. And one of the things he had said is that as a DB, you have to fight your brain trying to be in 2 places at once, because you got to focus on that next play, but then you're also thinking about what you did wrong previously. And I'm curious, with your history at the defensive back position group, just how difficult is it for players sometimes to be able to do that?
I don't think it's difficult. You got to concentrate on your technique and fundamentals. You got to have short-term memory, especially out there on the corner. You can go 50 plays without getting any action. Then if you get one or two and you blow it, you know, you don't play a great game no matter what else you did. And he's got to have short-term memory. He's got to let it go right after the play and just lock in and focus.
And how do you think he was able to respond in that game? Because it seems like he's had a terrific start to his season.
Other than that play, I thought he played well.
Todd, what do you think it's going to take to get the running game going? And is Bucky, has he earned the right to be the starting running back now?
No, as far as the running game going, everybody's got to do their job, from coaches to players, receivers, tight ends, offensive line, running backs at the same time. We're going to need Bucky and Rashad all year. Bucky had some scheme runs that worked, and Rashad had some didn't. That doesn't mean he's playing better. That means we couldn't get the ball open when we had Rashad back there. We're going to use them both all year. How they play and how much they play will change every game, so it's going to be no different.
Todd, Jalen Hurts has more responsibility this year at the line of scrimmage with Jason Kelce gone. What have you've played the Eagles obviously before, but Jason was responsible for those calls. What have you noticed as a difference now that Jalen's handling that?
Well, I think he's doing a great job. They understand the offense because he's been in it a while now. So going into a couple years in now, he has a good grasp of what they're trying to do. Obviously, Kellen's added some things as well to make the offense a little more multiple that way, and he's handling everything well.
Injuries are a big factor, right? And it's only 3 weeks, but when you're sitting here with just 2 sacks, 91-something pass attempts without one, is that just a testament to the injuries you've had inside especially? Or, you know, in the past you've been able to dial up blitzes and account for it even if you weren't getting home at the front four. What do you do to get the pass rush going in this instance?
We got to get going on the interior. When the outside guys get a good rush, you know, when Vita went down, we didn't have as much on the inside, but there's not an excuse. We got to rush the passer no matter who's playing. I don't really care whether it's 4 guys, 5 guys, 6 guys, whether they're all backups, whether they're all starters, or whatever the case may be. We got to get to the quarterback better.
And kind of on the other side of that, you know, when you have a rookie center, there's a lot on him mentally, right? And sometimes teams can do a lot of things, scheme things up to where it can create confusion for the center position. So how would you say that Graham Barton is doing from a mental standpoint at his ability to quickly diagnose what he's seeing and help the other guys out?
Graham's playing well. That's why he's starting. You know, mentally he's grasping a lot of things, and we expect that when we start a rookie center. We understand all that going in. We don't have any excuses for him. He's out there to start. He's out there to do a job. We like the job he's doing right now, and he's going to be better and better.
Todd, with the way the NFL rules are, you know, over the last decade, were you a little disappointed that Mayfield didn't take more deep shots down the field? Your long completions like 13 yards. Was that disappointing?
It was disappointing that we couldn't block enough for him to get it down the field, you know. And then they had we couldn't get the run game going, so they could sit back all day, so they didn't give us those shots as well. We got to do a better job overall, you know, getting our game going up front so we can take those type of shots down the field.
Anything else?
Thanks.
It'll be a few minutes.